love it.
Winning.
I love it. All right, friends. It has been a while since we've been brought the podcast back.
A bit. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute, and there's very, very good reason. That is because this gentleman right here to my right, your left, Greg Hughes from Vans Aircraft. How you doing, Greg?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. This is exciting.
I'm excited.
Yeah, well, friends, we
Having
have
a lot of fun.
Oh boy. Okay, first of all, the past 3 days with you,
Yeah, been hanging out together and doing cool stuff.
we are way too comfortable with each other already. It's like we've been friends for 20 years. Is that safe
That's
to say?
a fair shout.
Yeah,
No,
he
it's
fits
a-
way too well into this group.
That's what we were saying the other day, right? It's like sometimes you meet somebody and you just sort of get together, and then like at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I've known these people my whole life.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's honestly kind of how it's felt. It's been
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys.
That's when you know it's real.
Yeah,
Definitely,
no,
definitely.
it's fun, it's crazy, and it's real, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
He went from a friend to a partner to a straight up family now, and this is exciting here. We wanted to take the opportunity to have a podcast to really unpack this because we have a whole new chapter of Flight Test that is about to begin, and frankly, it's kind of the culmination and the final chapter, in my opinion, of what our desire and our heart's desire for people to do is, and that is to dream as far as they want to within aviation, and that goes from model aviation all the way to general aviation. And because of what you and your company are doing for us, we now get to actually build our very first kit build aircraft, which is going to be the Vans RV-12iS.
Got it.
I got it.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
one.
you. That was my moment.
Well done, sir.
I'm just gonna. By the way, I'm a little dyslexic. I get things wrong a lot. So-
When we're talking, and just so everybody knows we're talking, it's RV-12iS.
I don't know why I get it wrong every time.
I do the same thing.
Well,
It's no big deal.
We're gonna have about a year and a half of this build project, so I guarantee I'm gonna have it right by the end of it.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
Can't get it. It's going to be perfect. 12iS.
it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you'll be able to say my airplane, right? And that's cool. That's pretty cool.
It's actually going to be our airplane because this is
Yeah.
going to be a group build, not only with the team, but the
Yeah.
team's families, and also some amazing people from our community. And
Yeah, that's super cool.
I love it. Friends, from the beginning, we've talked about how the joy of building, the joy of flying, and how they're not one and separate. They really are part of each other.
Sure,
And
yeah.
that goes with model aviation along with general aviation. And you made the statement that I even kind of was like, okay, that's cute. But it's absolutely true that if you can build a foam board airplane, you can build a real airplane.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, well, you've learned that the last couple of days because we've been doing a little bit of metal building.
Yep.
And it's not rocket surgery, right? I mean, it's this is totally doable, right?
It is.
And I mean, just like so, I mean, you have to learn certain hands-on skills to build foam board airplanes.
Yeah.
Well, design foam board airplanes, but even just to take the kit and to build it, I haven't done one yet because it kind of scares
By the
me.
way.
But like bevel cut, I have no idea. I have an idea, I think, what that might be, but it sounds like it's a little complicated, like maybe the complicated thing.
yeah.
And we have a couple of complicated things too, but mostly it's really just, I mean, if you can, hammer a couple of 2x4s together, if you can use a screwdriver, if you know how to fix, kids don't do this at home, but fix a wall switch or a plug on the wall kind of thing, that sort of stuff. I mean, honestly, you can build an airplane. Yeah. It's really not that big of a deal. Yeah. It's just a lot of steps that, line up one after the other. Just a big elephant, one little bite at a time, like they say, the cliche. And then, you go from zero to airplane. You get there.
Well, let's unpack the why too.
Sure.
And you said it earlier. We put a lot of heart into the design of the airplane to make sure the build experience and the flying experience is the best it can be. That is no different with your company.
Oh, absolutely.
And the amount of engineering, the equipment you use, the precision you get, and especially around the RV-12iS that we're going to be building, that is specifically designed to be an amazing flyer, a trainer, but also the ultimate first experience for building your own aircraft, right down to how you engineer it. And why do you want to unpack that? Because for our community listening, you guys know me and A folds and B folds and bevel cuts and those techniques. What he's going to describe to you is basically you learn a core set of skills. That core set of skills goes through the whole entire aircraft. And just from what little bit we've done already with our practice kits,
Right.
he is 100% on. So why don't you tell about like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the difference between building, one of the really entry-level foam ones that you have to go and building a Flurkin or something, right?
Yeah.
And making that happen. So, no, it's really the same thing, just different materials. some different tools, but you learn the tools, you learn the materials, and you put it together. So the airplane you're gonna
I got you
Oops,
here. I
sorry
fixed it.
about
There you
that.
go.
So the airplane you're going to build is going to be. It's been a long 3 days, hasn't it?
We've not
Your
so much.
airplane is a the RV-12iS is mostly built with pulled rivets or pop rivets, but the kind of rivets where you don't. You basically put the rivet in a hole and it has a stem that sticks out, and then you use a squeezer, or we were using a pneumatic, an air tool, just to pull the stem, and just you stick it in there, thunk, and then you go to the next one. You do that, and it builds really fast that way. So it's fun. And the kit's designed to be, it's all pre-punched, matched holes in all the parts, which means, our engineers are just amazing, right? And design this really awesome, cool stuff. But and they've engineered kits that go together where all the holes are already in there and they all line up and they're all the right size, and you just sort of check to make sure all the sharp edges are gone, deburr any sharp edges, and then you start clamping it together and putting it together, and it jigs itself. You don't have to build a separate jig, and you put the rivets in, and you go thunk thunk thunk, and you pull the rivets, and then next thing you know, you've got an airplane. It's not quite throw it in a bag and shake it really really hard, and out comes an airplane. It's a little
not
more
shake
than
and
that.
bake a plane. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really doable. Like very, very doable. People build these airplanes all the time. In fact, you have your STEM program, right?
Yes.
And we support a lot of STEM programs. So the RV-12iS is more than 200 of them have been either built or are now being built by, in some cases, it's high school classes or nonprofit organizations that are just doing community work with kids, and they're building all around the world, in lots of countries, building these airplanes with teenagers, but adult mentors that have sort of either been trained or they've built them before, and they all come together and they go from zero to airplane, right? And then the airplane flies, and in some cases they get to learn to fly in it, and kind of like you're going to do. You want to learn. Some of y'all are looking to get your pilot's licenses, so and here you'll have an airplane as a group that you'd be able to fly together. I would just be really super super cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're over the moon excited about it, and it. We talk about flight being a tool. At the end of the day, this isn't going to just be an experience we get to build and, oh, look, we made our own airplane. This is going to be able to then turn around into a tool where we can bless other people, we can engage with other people, we can hopefully, complete in their mind what it looks like to fly in an aircraft. I think of the Young Eagles programs. I think of the experiential flights that people get.
Right.
How can we give them an experience and then couple that with a way where they walk away where it's not just a ride, but it is a start of something?
It's an experience, right? Yeah. So there's the ride, but I mean, we were all kids once.
Yeah.
For me, it was a little longer ago, but we were all kids once. But they had airplanes when I was a kid. I'm not that old, right? So, but and all of us when we were like little kids, you'd hear that sound up in the sky, and like everything else went away in the world, and your nose points up, and you're looking at the airplane up in the sky. It's like, whoa, right? My mom used to. I know she'd load me up in the car and we'd go driving down out of town, down by the airport when I was really little, and we'd pull over in the gravel on the side of the road. Timing was perfect, I think, because it was planned. But we'd pull over and sit on the hood of the car, and the Ross Airlines Twin Otter would pull out and go and take off to the south and take off at the local airport. But it was like, that's one of the most passionate, excited, clear memories I have is hearing and watching the airplanes take off. So the point is we've all had that experience, and and thousands of people have had the same experience, and there's a dream attached to that, right? And a passion attached to that. And it's such a, you call it lucky, it's more than lucky, right? But when I got the experience to be able to do that, and then as an adult to learn to fly, and then to be able to share that with, I love doing Young Eagles flights. It's a lot of fun. And then I got involved with Teen Flight, which is one of these STEM programs in the Portland area. It was the first RV-12 that was built by kids was in that program. And then I got to learn some more about, I was flying, but I got to learn about building airplanes, right? And just doing those things and working with the kids, and that, eventually turned into a career at Van's Aircraft. I've been there for 5 years, and so it's this weird organic path that kind of happens, but it's real, and by the way, Teen Flight, and other similar programs like that, and other ones that I've been involved with, I do want you to know one thing, which is, just in case you're not aware, I know through Teen Flight, people that work at Van's Aircraft now, they grew up with flight test, and now they work advanced aircraft, and they do things like design
I love
airplanes.
That's awesome.
there are flight test kids, literally, and I'm not joking, designing the RV-15
that. I love it.
that are designing parts and designing the airplane,
That's amazing.
and that are building the CNC department that is making the parts to go on the RV-15, you know, and doing those things, and other flight test kids that, you know, we talked to Justin.
Yes.
We did a video call with
Yes.
Justin, which thank you for doing. That was really cool.
He humbled me. I mean, just to hear this amazing young man who started off, like you said, as a kid. He's taller with a deeper voice. The things he's doing in life are so inspiring to me, but I know I'm excited about coming down and meeting your team. These kids, these flight test kids, need to be front and center to inspire other people.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he's got hundreds of hours as a pilot, but he's in naval aviator training now with the U.S. Navy. And that's what he's doing right now, and he's super pumped about it, and we're super excited for him. Like really proud of him, right? I mean, and, you know, everybody is. I know his family's incredibly proud of him, and you know what he's doing for our country and for us,
Right.
and following his passion, right? He's an engineer, you know, and I mean, he flew in the Reno air races, right? Flew in the Formula One class at Reno,
awesome.
and just done all kinds of really super cool stuff. And he's a great, truly good human being.
Yes.
But
Right.
hi, Justin. Sorry,
We love
sorry about that.
No, Justin, you rocked us, brother. It was amazing. Just get talking. It's like, hey, I want a video conference with Justin. It's like, oh, cool. Tell me a little bit about him. And then my jaw was just on the floor. It's like, oh yeah, well he does all these. I'm like, I get to talk to this guy. Oh my gosh! Like
He probably feels the same way. I think so.
I love it. And friends, we said it a lot of times. Like the best part about flight test is not the knuckleheads and doing pigs and hovercrafts and stuff. We're gonna still do it. Don't worry.
Yep.
It is the community and it is these amazing young men and women.
Yeah. Don't stop doing that. I want to see more pigs fly or elephants or
yeah,
something. You know, that'll be.
That's all we know how to do.
That's good.
But
But I mean, I've been watching you guys like for years now, right? And I mean, you do some of the wackiest, craziest, coolest, most fun, just like, you know, kind of stuff. I mean, you guys are the guys who are like, you know what? Wow, wouldn't it be cool if? Okay, let's
Right.
do it. Like, so, oh, well, what if this? It's like, how crazy of a thing I think of? Okay, well, we could do that.
Right.
You know, but that's the vision or the dream, or no matter how crazy it is, it's like, well, is it really that crazy? You know, I mean, some of the biggest ideas came out of crazy.
That's right.
You know, anyway, it's just really, really cool. Anyway, but thanks for doing the call with Justin.
I loved it. No, it
that
was
was pretty
me,
neat.
and I know there was a couple other kids that we called and tried to
Yeah.
call. And I love
Yeah.
I love the fact that you have a heart to be like, hey, we gotta call this person. And it's not like you just know this person. You know their family. You know their life. You have stories. Like as you're sharing the history of these young men and women, it's just truly remarkable to see the depth of friendships and how aviation in general can be something used to just make a quick memory and have just a fun activity to connect and to enjoy each other's company.
Right.
It can be used as something that can help mentor. It can be used something as a career.
Right.
And just with the short time, getting to see every aspect of flight and the relationships you have with other people, all the way to these young flight test kids, as we call them, working on the RV-15.
Yeah, super cool.
Brings a tear in
stuff.
my eye.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really special. And thanks for doing that. I like we called Luke this morning.
Luke, yep.
So his friend, my friend Danny, is his dad, and runs the maintenance shop where I've had my airplanes worked on for years. It's where I learned to fly, and I think he was
God
pretty
bless Luke. He
excited.
was dedicated. It's like, hey, I'm running late to school, and it's like that's a kid that is dedicated.
He's out the door walking off the porch on a video call while he's talking
was so
to us.
cool.
That's great.
He sent messages afterwards, said take a lot of pictures for me. So
That's passion right there. If you've ever seen it.
yeah, he'll be getting his pilot certificate here pretty soon. He turns 16 in a few months, so that'll
wow.
be cool. It'll be really fun.
It's really great. It's fantastic.
So one thing we've been talking a lot about is just, you know, as far as this project goes, it's going to be so much more than just building the aircraft and flying the aircraft in a vacuum. We really want to unpack every aspect of what general aviation looks like, what careers in flight look like.
Right.
You've heard us talk a couple different times about partners with purpose. And this is exactly what that is. Our good friends like Greg from Pilot Institute, I believe, was the first adopters. You guys have bought into this. We want to be able to partner with people that not only help us keep the channel going, keep flight tests going, but also continue to inspire beyond us. We're not everything in aviation, but we're blessed to have relationships with people that can fill that out. And you guys have come along in an amazing way. I believe you're going to be inspiring and just opening people's minds up to what flight can do in their lives and in their careers and socially.
That's the thing we love about Flight Test, right? It's because you guys have been doing that for years and years and years, and it's, I mean, your mission and your purpose is like amazing, right? So I mean, you've inspired so many, and honestly, a lot of that inspiration has developed young people into adults who are now working at Vans and working at other kit companies and working at other places in aviation. You know, or I know a couple that are working for NASA and are working for the DoD or working. I mean, for all kinds of crazy companies that you can't talk about probably. But you know, I mean, if we're doing what we're passionate about, if we really care about what we're doing, and if it's something that matters to me, I want to share it. You know, and fundamentally, that's really what it's about. I mean, the aviation community is a very giving and sharing community. You know, I mean, if you're the kid that's like hanging on the airport fence, there's a lot more airport fences now than there used to be, but hang on the fence, and you know, and you know, if you see somebody, then holler out and say, "Hey, that's a cool airplane," and you might be surprised with what kind of response you get. I mean, it's a very open community of people that really, you know, we all had that same dream, you know. But I, you know, I mean, I'm really excited that you guys want to. I think it's really cool that you're going to build an airplane. I think it's really cool that you'll have an airplane as a crew and as a group that you'll be able to share with each other and share with the community, because that's really what it's all about. You know, it's about the giving part of it. And you know, when you give, you get. Right. And, you know, so your priorities, you know, which one am I really looking for? You know, that's what soul searching there and doing that. But you know, what you all do, you do the right way. Well, I don't know.
We appreciate those sentiments,
I'm
Greg.
super excited. It's going to be, I can't wait. Can't wait till you mess up your first part and I have to send it to you.
Don't say that.
Don't say it, Greg. He said it. He said it.
Well, I gotta say, he's given us every opportunity to do it with excellence. The investment and just seeing even my own kid, Miss Moose, everybody was involved with like working on these practice kits, and it was just really amazing. Even Michael came in, like it was like after lunch, and we heard the burring wheel going, and and you could tell like this is already filtered through the whole entire team. Is like we can do this and we want to do this.
Yeah, we were building that lightbox sign, the practice kit thing, and so yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was cool coming in from lunch, and Mike's over there. Open the front door and you're there's Mike deburring parts for the lightbox kit. That's pretty neat. So it's gonna be pretty cool. I think Dave's pretty pumped. So, he's I'll tell you right now, he is the guy. He's the guy for the job. He can keep it together.
The David is the man.
Yeah, David. I'm good guy.
I'm yet to ever see something. I love it because Dave's not here right now, so we can gush on him.
Yeah, we can talk about him.
Take that, Dave.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Dave is one of these amazingly God-given, talented people that can just touch anything and just adapt and overcome. So let's take all that talent and let's just say that is what is the David. He's going to be project managing this, so he's going to have the organization because we want to do it right. Yep. We're going to be able to filter in, and he'll be able to make sure that the steps are being done and everything's being done well. But I'm not that talented, and all of us are green. What gave me so much encouragement was learning to pull the rivets, learning to squeeze the rivets, learning to deburr. Friends, when I tell you that this is stuff that is repeatable, this is stuff, we're not just trying to amp you up. Yes, you're going to be nervous. Yes, it's going to be a little stressful in certain things as you go through the instructions.
That's what makes it worthwhile.
Amen. So, yeah, but it is doable, and we can't wait to unpack that. And I don't know, I'm hoping it'll happen this Flight Fest, but I know you guys have also sponsored Flight Fest in a huge way.
Yeah. We're my sincere hope is to be able to be at Flight Fest in June, and mostly because I want to learn how to do a bevel cut.
There you go. We'll teach you the bevel cut, and we'll basically even the whole thing.
Yeah, I think if I crash an airplane there, I might not get fun of as much as I would elsewhere.
Out in the wild, right?
I want you and I want your Van's presence to be there because I want them to see how approachable this is. I want them to see the hearts and minds behind Van's aircraft. And when I was going and looking into the RV-12, I connected to the community through like Facebook and stuff.
Right.
What really smacked me in the face was our community is filled with just incredibly kind, generous, thoughtful people that really want to give you success in life and feed their wisdom into you and just make sure you get over the hump.
That's awesome.
Your community is no different.
No, it really is. So yeah, there's you found the Facebook group for RV-12iS.
Yep.
So many cool people there.
Yeah.
And Vans Air Force is online forums that there's just thousands of really helpful people there. The Vans the home building community in general, whether it's vans, RVs, or others, is a really open, engaged, helpful, pay it forward, stay involved. I mean, you build one airplane, they're probably pretty passionate about keeping doing it. And maybe, some people build 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 airplanes,
John Fear.
John Ferry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And John will be helping out with you
Yes, he
all.
will
So
be.
that's really cool because he's just down the road, and having that experienced person is terrific, right? But for somebody that builds 1 airplane or 2 airplanes, and then they're kind of like, but then they realize, wow, I could help somebody else do this.
Right.
And that might be a lot of fun because it's really the relationships that you build in doing this that really, really tie it all together and really make it feel personal and worthwhile. The airplanes are a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge part of doing this, but just as big a part of doing it is the community and the people that are involved and how much a big part of your life and meaningful part of your life they can be.
I think that's the point, right? Is that relationships is the key factor. Just like we use foam board airplanes, silly foam board airplanes to impact people in a positive way.
Right.
It's not about the plane; it's about the people. And I think that's one thing that I think we're all in agreement here that like when Greg came in, like we felt like he was part of the team right off the bat because of the relationship that has been built over the last 24, 48 hours. Because we were having fun over some common scenario.
Right.
But it was really just about to get to know each other better and have fun and enjoy time together. And I think too that when we started talking, Greg, at the end of the day, it started 4 years ago, but when we re-picked it back up, it happened very quickly.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Right. And so like the back and forth, and I remember the calls vividly. I remember what we talked about and, the visions aligning and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
and
I think it was something like, hey, Stefan, how's it going? It's been a couple of years since we last really got together and talked about anything. And Stefan's like, hey, really great. Ha, ha, ha. Which, by the way, is how Stefan texts everything. ha, ha, ha.
It's his truth. You now know my secret.
Well, you got 3 ha's? I only get 2 ha's.
And I was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And, and I don't remember how it came up, but somehow it was like, we kind of like to build an airplane sometime. We think it would be cool. And I was like, well, no time like the present. Hey, why not? But we've wanted to work together for on something. We didn't really know what for some time now, and we started talking 4 years ago, and this whole pandemic thing happened, and that turned everything upside down. And I don't know about you guys, but my job got crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've kind of made a list recently. It's like what are the things that just got completely messed up, right? That I just really wish hadn't gotten messed up. It's like I think you call it a regret or whatever it is. But what are those things that's like, if I'm gonna pick something up off the floor and dust it off, what is it? And top of the list was flight test because I love what you guys do and we love what you guys do. And it's just a good fit. I mean, the reason that people want to build airplanes like our airplanes and others and other kit airplanes in the community is for it's the same passion and the same reason that you do what you do. It's a creative passion and endeavor. It involves other people who are kind of like-minded and are coming from the same place. And you build the relationships and you do something amazing and cool that honestly not a whole lot of people have done. And then you get to fly your own freaking airplane. That's kind of neat, right? And
pretty amazing.
It's a pretty special thing, and it's totally doable.
Yeah, and we really appreciate just like just obviously the commonalities, but also just that like you guys over at Vans Aircraft yourself believe in what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish and having the same vision as that and coming on board to not only let us build a sweet airplane, but at the end of the day, become good friends over the long haul.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm truly grateful for that. We're already having a blast, right?
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
I hope honestly that this we find reasons just to bring you out as much as possible through this whole process.
I'll do that. I'll work on the travel account.
We'll just have to start trying to come up with little emergencies. Greg, we need you to come down quick.
No,
Greg.
I'll be able to pop out here and
There you
there.
go.
I think
Good.
it'll be okay.
You can have my office, the fishbowl.
So,
There you go.
So, friends, this is the beginning, obviously, like I said, of a brand new chapter, brand new journey, and our hope is that it really inspires you as much as we're inspired to be able to do it, and as much as we appreciate the trust from you to be able to take it on.
Oh, and likewise, right back at you on that. It's I'm not worried. I have confidence. I know you guys can build the airplane. That's easy. But just don't stop building flying pigs.
No, never. And a matter of fact, speaking of building, we're even going to be building and recreating an RV-12iS for you guys to build and a
Cool.
speedboat kit foam board. I think that'll probably be one
nice.
of the
That'll
first
be
things.
cool.
Your engineers are hopefully going to even be part of that.
Yeah,
too.
that would be fun. We had talked about if if you guys do a foam kit and something, maybe if we could get one or two or a couple of our engineers involved in the process because they especially some of the guys that grew up with flight test. I think that I don't know. That's the reason. I mean, honestly, Stefan and I have talked before. We've talked before over what 4 years, like we said, and that's really cool, and it's a positive relationship. It's always been kind of exciting to talk about what possibilities are. But the thing that really cemented it for me over the last 4 years was like all these people that work at Vans that are people that honestly, I'm just like really privileged to work with because they're way smarter than I am, like way smarter than I am. And they can just do these amazing things. And one of the foundational, one of the pieces of their foundation when they were young, and could be, going from teenagers and into young adults was flight test. And
so happy.
it's just so
crazy.
cool, right?
That's
so
super cool.
So that, it's just amazing for me to be able to sit with y'all because you've been doing this for quite a while now. And making this amazing stuff that inspires people. So thanks for doing that. And thanks for that. Because honestly, Vans Aircraft thanks you for doing that because in the real world, just like all the other kids and young people out there that are watching right now, that are watching what you do, building Star Wars hovercraft or whatever it is at the time. They're going to become the engineers and the manufacturers and the aircraft builders of the future, which is just really
Preach.
awesome. Just super cool.
We have just as much excitement about bringing those people in front of the camera and showcasing their talents, their passion, and hopefully letting them inspire you guys as much as they're inspiring us right now.
If they can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
And I think they're going to be responsible for the next 10, 20, 30 years of more engineers coming. What a great thing. Friends, so basically what's going to be happening from this point on, you're going to be seeing monthly video updates. And I think there's going to be actually more than that because I already see Noah peeling off content that's more technical and basis for a tech channel playlist and stuff as well too.
Oh, cool.
We want to hit every aspect of this journey from the building to us learning how to fly to using it as a tool to bless others to the amazing team, the careers in flight. All this is going to be unpacked and we just can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And it all starts with flying pigs.
Amen.
That's right.
I love
Amen.
that flying pig.
And on that note,
Yes.
we're gonna go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We got a lot of fun ahead. Thanks, guys. You brought this reality to us as well. We would not be here without you. And I hope this answers some questions. A lot more fun is in the future.
And Greg, thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks for having me for a few days. I've had a lot of fun.
Good man. Good man.
We're going to have it back, trust me.
Yep.
All right, friends. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Vans Aircraft Total